Hello students. Today we are going to study Social Science of Class 9 Rise of British Rule in India. Rise of British Rule in India. How the British rule rised in India. Since the ancient period, India has enjoyed an incomparable position in the whole world due to its economic, cultural, and religious inheritance. Due to the economic prosperity and cultural inheritance, people from the different nations of the world came to India. There was a lot of demand for the Indian spices, muslins, silk cloth, indigo, etc. in the European countries. Trade between India and Europe was carried out through land route and sea route, and at the centers of this route was Istanbul in Turkey. Yes, we have learned in a previous standard that our country was one of the leading country in the world. The people of various countries were influenced by our economic, cultural and religious inheritance. Many people want to enter our country and they wanted to trade with our country and produce their income. So many merchants from different countries came to India from northwest and they wanted to trade through a land route. First of all the Arab traders tried to trade with us through land route, but when the situation was changed, the trade which was going through land was stopped. Slowly, the Indian products like silk, muslin, fine cloth was a great demand. It increased in the European countries. So, trade between India and Europe was carried through land and sea route. It was through Istanbul in Turkey. After the conquest of Constantinople in 1453 AD by Turkish Muslims, the sea route through Constantinople was closed for the European. Yes, the sea route which was from Istanbul, it was being closed since they could not do without the spices. Yes, the Indian spices were in great demand in the European countries, so they wanted to come to India through the Nada route. The European fell, compelled to discover a new sea route. So, an era of geographical discoveries began. Yeah, from this, an era began. Discovery of sea route to India. With the inspiration, encouragement, and economic help from the Portuguese king Prince Henry, some brave people began efforts to discover new sea route. See, with the help of Portuguese king Prince Henry, the brave people, the brave sailors, they tried to discover a new sea route. Many great men tried to discover sea route to India. See, many great men, they tried to discover the sea route to India. First of the, for them was Bartholomew Dias. Yeah, Bartholomew Dias. Who was he? He was an explorer. He was the first among the European to reach the southern tip of the countries of Africa. He named it as a Cape of Storms, but the King John II named it the Cape of Good Hope as it provided them a positive hope to reach India. So in this way, he discovered the Cape of Good Hope. With the economic assistance from the King of Spain, Christopher Columbus began his adventure of discovering a new sea route. Then, after Bartholomew Dias, the Columbus came and he discovered a new sea route in 1492, which again came to a stop to an island, present known as West Indies, situated in the Atlantic Ocean. Columbus, who had believed throughout his life that he has discovered a new sea route to India, had actually discovered a new island. Since this clarification was made by Amerigo Vespucci, this new land began to be known as America. See, this Christopher Columbus, he was an Italian explorer and he was a very brave sailor. He thought that one can go to the east via west, so he started his journey to India and reached America. As long as he lived, he was under the misconception that he had discovered the sea route to India. But today that it is known as the natives of America, that is called as Red Indians, and the island group which is there in the Caribbean is known as the West Indies. See, this is the map, the sea route to India, how the British came to the sea route to India. The Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama discovered the sea route to India in 1498 AD. After that, the Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama he discovered a new sea route when he reached Calicut in the western coast of India. With the help of Indian sailor, he was welcomed by the king Zamorin and allowed to carry out business there. Thus, this is considered as an important event in the world as this opened the doors for the other Europeans to come to India. Yes, after that, the Vasco da Gama, a native of Portugal, discovered the sea route to India. He encircled the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa and reached the port of Calicut on 22nd May 1498. And Zamorin the king, he accepted, yes, he welcomed the Vasco da Gama and his sailor. He gave a grand welcome to Vasco da Gama and his crew members to come and have business over there. Arrival of Europeans to India. Arrival of the British and the establishment of trade centers. Now we'll discuss about arrival of Europeans to India. The Portuguese were the first to arrive in India for trade after the discovery of the sea route to India. From this, the Portuguese were the first. Yeah, Vasco da Gama, he was the Portugal sailor, and they were the first who arrived to India. Within a span of 100 years, the Portuguese took control of several territories. Within the span of 100 years, the Portuguese took the control of several territories like Div, Daman, Goa, Cochin, Malacca, etc. Inspired by the Portuguese success in trade, the Dutch from the Holland and the Danish from the Denmark arrived in India for trade. See, after this expansion of a new way to India in 1498, Portuguese established their colonies in Calicut in 1502. See, Albuquerque was appointed as the governor of this first Portuguese colony. He moved towards north and captured Goa in 1506. See, after 1500, almost 100 years, the Portuguese got control over Calcutta, Goa, Cochin, Div, Daman, etc. In the early 17th century, the business and the trade of the Portuguese started moving towards Bengal. When see this, the English traders established the East India Company to carry out their trade with India. See this, their progress of the Portuguese they saw, and then the Dutch from the Holland, the Danish from the Denmark, they also arrived in India for the trade. The English traders they also established their East India Company to carry out their trade with India. In 1600 AD, when Queen Elizabeth of England gave permission to East India Company to carry out trade with the eastern countries, the first ship under the leadership of Captain William Hawken arrived in Surat. But due to the dominance and the opposition from the Portuguese, they were not allowed to establish their trade there. But finally, the East India Company got the permission from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir, and thus the British East India Company established its first trade center in Surat in Kothi in 1613 AD. Initially, the company established its trade center in Surat, Bharuch, and Ahmedabad. See, the Britishers, how they came. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth from England, the British East India Company was established in England in 1600. This establishment desired to prosper by trading with India. The first ship of British arrived at Surat port in 1608. Hawken was the captain of this British ship. He also arrived in India for the first time. Due to the dominance and opposition of the French, the Britishers were not given permission to trade over there. Hawken met Jahangir but did not get the right to trade in Surat. Thereafter, Sir Thomas Rao assumed it Thus Surat became the first British colony. When the Shah Jahan came to the power in Delhi, he gave the British the permission to trade even in Bengal also. And in this way, the company established a trade center in Surat, Bharuch, and Ahmedabad. But due to the strong presence of the Marathas in this region, the company sensed danger to its existence and hence moved towards the south and east direction, where they set up their center in Machilipatnam, which is in Andhra Pradesh, St. George, that is in Chennai, and Fort William, Kolkata. Mumbai became their headquarters in 1687. See, because of the presence of Marathas, the company thought that they were in danger. So they moved towards the south and east direction and they set up their centers in Andhra Pradesh, Chennai, and Kolkata, Machilipatnam, St. George, and Fort William. So then the Mumbai was their headquarters in 1687 AD. The French East India Company arrived in India for trade in 1668 AD and eventually set up their trade centers in Mahe, Karaikal, Pondicherry, Chandranagar, Machilipatnam, etc. See, then the French East India Company they arrived to India for their trade and they set up their trade centers in Mahe, Pondicherry, Chandranagar, etc. In the 18th century, the English and the French were constantly busy establishing their rule in the entire world and conquering more territories. They were trying to establish their rule in the entire world and they were conquering more and more territories. Between 1746 and 1763, there were three Karnataka wars. There were three Karnataka wars between the French East India Company and the British East India Company in India, in which the French East India Company lost. Yes, the French East India Company lost and the British East India Company won the battle, the war which was between them. Thus, at the end of this battle for power, the Portuguese were left with Div, Daman, Goa. The Portugal they were left with what? Div, Daman and Goa. While French had their trade centers, the French conquered their trade in Chandranagar, Mahe, Karaikal and Pondicherry. Meanwhile, the Dutch had to leave forever. The Dutch had to leave from there forever. The other Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar, expansion of company rule we'll see in another video. Thank you.